Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing Ninjago set number 71799, Ninjago City Markets. With a price tag of $369.99 and a piece count of 6,163, this is the largest Ninjago set ever made. Of course, it'll probably not be the largest forever. Ninjago constantly likes to top themselves here, but as of right now, this set is the largest Ninjago set in history, and I am very excited to talk about it. My goal for today's video is to simply give my thoughts on this set to the best of my ability, as openly and honestly as possible. I am not a professional LEGO review channel, nor am I trying to be. I just like talking about the sets that I buy. Also, this set is rather large, so as a result, this video will probably be fairly long. There's just a lot to talk about here. This set is fairly detailed. There's a lot of really interesting things going on in this set, and we also have a lot of minifigures as well. I built this set over a period of 4 days, working occasionally throughout each day, and I gotta say, as a final build, this set is pretty impressive. However, I think it's slightly overrated. This set has been given the title of best Ninjago set ever by a lot of Ninjago fans, and while you guys are certainly entitled to your own opinion, I don't think this is the best Ninjago set ever made. In fact, I wouldn't even call this the best Ninjago City set ever. Might be kind of a controversial opinion. However, under no circumstances do I think this is a bad set. I still really enjoy this set quite a bit. This is a very, very good set. It's just not the best set ever, in my opinion. And I will definitely explain myself as this review continues. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into it. Here is my review of Ninjago set number 71799, Ninjago City Markets. The box is fairly large, so here we have the front of the box, and here we have the back of the box. So starting things off with minifigures, we have a lot of them. The first one is the normal Dragons Rising Lloyd. Same Dragons Rising Lloyd that you get in the other Dragons Rising sets. Nothing too special about this guy. In fact, nothing at all is different. This is the exact same Dragons Rising Lloyd that we've talked about a bunch on this channel. He comes with 2 golden katanas, and since we've talked about him a lot, that's all I'm gonna say. Check out my other reviews if you want to hear more of my thoughts on this specific figure. And likewise, Dragons Rising Nia here is the exact same one that we've talked about before, so again, not gonna spend too much time on it. These are the only 2 normal ninja that you get in this set, if that's worth anything to you guys. Now finally, the first of many interesting figures that you get in the set. This is Detective Zane from the famous Prime Empire episode where he is a detective. Very cool inclusion, very awesome figure. I like this guy quite a bit. Decked out in that monochromatic gray, looking very awesome. For an accessory, he comes with a working magnifying glass, and that does work, so you can get him to be, you know, looking through it if you want. There's better ways of doing that, but you can kind of see what we're going for there. Not a bad inclusion at all. That face is also rather happy for Zane as he comes off the entire stand there. That face, like I said, very happy for Zane. You could totally use that as just a normal happy Zane expression if you want. No leg printing, but the torso printing and the hat are nice touches, I'd say. Overall, pretty unexpected figure. Honestly, doesn't really make much sense for this set, but I'm glad they included it because this figure is really awesome in my opinion. A figure that's not quite so awesome is Blacksmith Kai, who is of course trying to replicate the Blacksmith Kai look from the pilot episodes as well as March of the Oni. Pretty sure mine has some scuffing right there on the torso, so that's kind of iffy, but overall this Blacksmith Kai, it's not a bad representation of Blacksmith Kai, but apparently it doesn't use any new pieces. Apparently the torso and the leg printing are reused from other LEGO themes, so that's kind of disappointing. You also do get the reused Ninjago movie face and the island headband piece, which, yeah, this figure could have been a little bit better in my opinion, but I think it is still nice to have an official Blacksmith Kai. For accessories, you get a hammer and this transparent orange katana, which is supposed to be replicating a katana that is trying to cool after being formed. So that's a nice, neat little touch there. I like how that looks quite a bit. Next up, we have Urban Aaron, which is just supposed to represent Aaron in his casual attire that we see in Dragons Rising. Very cool figure. Same torso print used on the normal Aaron that we see for some other Dragons Rising sets. Also, that hairpiece and that face are not new for this specific figure, but the legs are, to my knowledge. I don't think those legs come in any other set, and he does use this outfit quite a bit in the show, so if you want like a more show accurate Aaron, at least in terms of how we've seen him so far, definitely try to get this figure. For an accessory, he comes with a waffle. So very cool figure overall, I'd say. And along with Urban Aaron, you get Urban Sora, just supposed to be a casual representation of Sora as she appears in Dragons Rising. Now the main difference between the normal Sora and this one is the lack of armor and that hairpiece. Also, that hairpiece is totally the wrong one. That's the one that she had when she was younger for sure, but it's definitely not the one that that she has in the modern day setting of Ninjago Dragons Rising. Minor nitpick there. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I know some Ninjago fans might not be super keen about that. Also, for accessories, you do get some chopsticks and a little thing of noodles, so I guess that's pretty cool. Pretty solid accessories. I just wish this figure was a little bit better. Definitely in terms of that hairstyle. Here we have a really cool figure. This is Misdemeanor, the famous C-list Ninjago villain Misdemeanor. Very, very cool figure, though. I really like the Misdemeanor figure. The wires on the back, these weird little hose things, don't really line up the best. It's not really meant to do that, but you can kind of see what we got going on here. She's got her two flamethrowers, looking very cool. That classic red mohawk that we know her for in the show. Not a huge fan of the face print. I probably would have preferred maybe a goggles up version, but I'm glad we just have a Misdemeanor figure in general. Like I said earlier, she is a C-list villain, but I really like Misdemeanor. I think she's a fun addition to the Ninjago cast. Her inclusion in this set doesn't really make much sense, much like Detective Zane. This character probably will not appear in Dragons Rising, but I do like this figure. I'm glad that we got it. It's a nice, cool little addition to this set. Next up for figures, we have Hound Dog McBrog, looking very, very accurate to how he looks in the Ninjago TV series. This is basically a one-to-one representation of how he looks in the show. Very good job at designing this minifigure. Pretty simplistic design, but very effective design as well. Love that face print especially, and I really like that torso print too. He does come with his handcuffs, so if he wants, he can arrest the ninja if he really wants to. Don't know why you would. This guy is kind of an idiot, but overall, he's a pretty cool figure. I like how he looks. Once again, great addition to the Ninjago supporting cast and the minifigure collection that goes with it. At least in my collection, that's how it goes. Here we have Camille, the Elemental Master of Form, and yeah, pretty mid figure in my opinion. Just not a good. Why would they include this one? No one wanted this. Nobody asked for this. Just kidding. I fooled you, didn't I? Nah, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, I don't know. But this figure is so cool, you guys. I've been waiting so long for a Camille minifigure, and by far, this is the best figure in this set. By far. This figure is so cool. By the way, you like this minifigure stand? Built it up using a couple of actual minifigure stands. Isn't that cool? But anywho, off topic, this Camille minifigure is heckin' amazing, bro. I love how cool she is. She comes with a pair of scissors so she can stab people if she wants. Stabby stabby. But overall, fantastic figure. Great representation of a pretty underrated character in my opinion. Love her design. Love that hairpiece. Love that torso and the leg print. It just looks so good, man. Looks so good. I am so happy that we finally have a Camille minifigure. The face print, I've seen some people complain about. For me, I think it looks perfect. I don't have any complaints about the face print. In fact, no complaints about this figure just in general. Fantastic figure. I am so happy to finally have an official Camille in my collection. And like I said, by far, this is the best figure that you get in this set. If anything, it's almost worth the $350 price tag just for her. But honestly, that might be pushing it a little too much. I like her, but I like her. I don't know if I like her that much. But overall, pretty solid figure. I like it a lot. Here we have Dareth in his bartender outfit, I guess. Not a huge fan of the Dareth character. You guys know that. Not a huge fan of Dareth at all. This figure, though, isn't too bad. I'll add it. I'll probably add it to the Dareth collection, I guess. He broke his arm. At least I think that's supposed to be an arm cast. Probably because he was drinking and he tripped. Don't drink and do anything, kids. If you drink, be safe, or else you'll end up like Dareth here. Drink responsibly. Dareth is not a good role model. But overall, just an okay figure. Again, not a huge fan of Dareth, so I could kind of care less about this figure, but I do like the broken arm accessory. I think that's what that's supposed to be. Again, is that a cast, or maybe it's some type of like punchy like bandage thing. I don't know. I think it's a cast. I think he just broke his arm because he's a drunken idiot. But moving on, let's move on from Dareth. Cyrus Borg is another character that comes in this set, and also very cool inclusion. It's been a minute since we've seen a Cyrus Borg figure. In fact, the last time we saw one, he was possessed. But overall, here we have the new Cyrus Borg, looking very, very cool. He does come with his wheelchair, obviously. Pretty important accessory, I'd say. And overall, very good printing. Very simplistic, but very good at the same time. Love that face print. Love that hair hairpiece. Very cool figure. It's nice to have a Cyrus Borg figure that's not possessed by the Overlord. I know my fingers are kind of gross. Forgive me, I don't take care of myself because I'm a disgusting animal. But overall, Cyrus Borg, he is not a disgusting animal. Very cool figure in my opinion. Really happy to finally have him in the collection as a not possessed, just normal Cyrus Borg. You also get Racer 7 in this set. Now, according to the show, her name is officially Blazy H. Speed. She changed her name after escaping Prime Empire, but just because the box calls her Racer 7, I'm going to call her Racer 7 for the sake of this review. But overall, pretty solid figure, I'd say. I kind of wish that this looked more like Racer 7 from the show. I wish they had her exact same outfit, because as it stands right now, she's a Bionicle fangirl, which, you know, Bonkles are cool. I like Bonkles just as much as the next guy, right? Hero Factory better, don't at me. But overall, I mean, the Bionicle representation, I get it. You know, all the Bionicle nerds can go crazy over that. She does come with a little Tahu, so I guess that's excellent, I suppose. I just wish she had the normal outfit from the show. You know, the green outfit that she wore in Prime Empire and Crystallized and all that. I kind of wish she had that. But overall, pretty cool hairpiece, pretty cool face. I could probably customize this to make it look a little bit more show accurate. Speaking of minifigures that are not show accurate, here we have Gail Gossip, also a really cool character from the show. Very underrated. A lot of really cool female characters out there that I'm happy come in this set. But overall, Gail Gossip here isn't too bad. Again, not completely show accurate though. I think that hairpiece is the completely wrong hairpiece. From my understanding, they no longer make her hairpiece, but then again, I don't think they made Camille's either, and they pulled that off, so I don't know, maybe it's just not in the budget to do that twice in one set. But overall, Gail Gossip, nice pink jumpsuit. She comes with the microphone. The face print is very much Gail Gossip. And I do have that original hairpiece. I'll probably swap that out once I finish this review. But overall, as it comes in this set, Gail Gossip is a pretty sweet figure. And thankfully, LEGO was smart, because along with Gail Gossip, they included Vinny, along with his giant camera. He's definitely not going to miss any action here. But Vinny, very cool figure. NGTV News on the back. At least I think that's what that's supposed to be. NG News or something. Ninjago News. I don't know. You guys tell me down below. But overall, very solid figure. Very cool figure. Pretty generic figure too. But then again, Vinny doesn't really have the most exciting design ever. But I do like how that torso print is actually, you know, made for the set. It's made for Vinny. Unlike somebody like Kai back here, who desperately needed that, Vinny got it instead. So whatever. Priorities are kind of whack, I guess, from this set. But overall, Vinny is not a bad figure. Happy to finally add him to the collection as well. And like the other Ninjago City sets, you also get a bunch of random nameless civilians. Here we have the Sushimi Chef. Presumably he works for Shushimi from Prime Empire. You can see his face back there. This set kind of has a weird thing for Prime Empire, so, you know, it is what it is. But as you can see, he comes with one of those cleaver things, and he's sweating, so it's presumably a very hot day in the kitchen. He's probably being overworked and underpaid. This lady is just called the Baker. She's pretty cute. I like her a lot. I like her hat thing. Very, very cool. The set does give you 2 of those. I'm not sure if that's just my copy, but from what I've heard, it's every copy, so I guess that's beneficial. The cat hair is not included. It's still there. Whatever. Guess we're just gonna have to deal with it. But overall, very cool figure. I guess again, very simple, very straightforward, but very cool. She comes with a little bit of a mixer, or a whisk. Is that? I don't know. I didn't really pay attention in home ec. Baker. This guy is known as the boat vendor. I like him quite a bit too. He comes with a nice stick, always good to see. And torso print is pretty simplistic, no leg printing. He does have something on the side of his head there. I'm not sure if that's like an earpiece or a hearing aid or something. Feel free to enlighten me in the comments, but he's got something going on there. Maybe it's an AirPod. Maybe he's listening to the newest Fold Weekend Whip remix. Who's to say? But overall, very cool figure. I like him a lot. Very simplistic, of course, but he's just a random nameless civilian. This lady is the street vendor, probably the most generic background civilian character in this entire set. She comes with a little bit of something there. Could be a bomb. I'm just going to pretend it's a bomb. Very simplistic torso printing as well. This feels like a Lego City figure, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. So that is the street vendor. I like this girl a lot. This is the Borg store employee. She's got that nice Cyrus Borg logo right there, along with some type of ID. Is that her name, maybe? or is that just something that is associated with the store? I don't know. Feel free to tell me down below in the comments, but I like her hairpiece a lot. She's really cool. Excellent Borg printing on the back there. She also comes with a little bit of a phone there. Also really cool accessory. Great figure. Great background character. Pretty solid design. This might be my favorite of just the random generic civilian figures. This guy is known as the Tea Vendor. He could also probably pass for Cole's dad, Lou, if you really wanted to. You could probably use that face for Cole's dad if you wanted to make a custom figure. But overall, this guy's the Tea Vendor. I like his torso print. Very cool Ninjago-esque printing there. He also comes with a nice cup of tea. So yeah, he also has that disgusting Lloyd bowl haircut, except it's black. And finally, for minifigures, we have the Dojo Kid, using the same torso print as the figures in the Ninja brick box from Core, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty random. Yeah, that is the Core logo on the back. Pretty random in my opinion. Not sure why this one was included, but as just a random generic civilian figure, she's alright. I like her hairpiece. I also really enjoy the ice cream accessory. So yeah, that is the Dojo Kid. Does she have any relation to the ninja? Probably not. So moving on to the actual model itself, apologies for how awkward this is going to be. I am doing this handheld right now because I do want to talk about the entire model as it's connected before we eventually do break it down and talk about each building, each little section individually. Like the other Ninjago city sets, this model can be broken down into smaller chunks. That's exactly what we're going to be doing here in a second. But overall, as an entire model, this is how you're going to have it displayed 99% of the time, and I think it looks very, very cool. As you can see, we have a lot of really interesting details there, just kind of going in on ground level here. We have a couple of stories. I can see two major stories. We got the main ground level and also the secondary level that goes all throughout the top there. We also do have a third story up here, like a little balcony type thing. The box says 4 stories. I'm failing to see where the 4th story is, unless you count this little section up here, you know, the second story of the Borg store. But overall, still, with 2 stories just in general, 2 solid stories, I think this is a very, very cool set. The water is done really nicely as well. Same method used as the other Ninjago city sets, so these blue tiles along with various black and green bricks underneath. Love how that looks quite a bit. Also, we do have a lot of gray in this set. That is my one big complaint. There's too much gray everywhere. I get it, it's supposed to be like a walkway, and if you populate the scene with minifigures, then that problem kind of takes care of itself. But this set does not include nearly that many minifigures to make the entire scene feel like a bustling city. You know, it feels like a bustling town on maybe a lazy Tuesday afternoon. There's a lot of gray around here, and I think that is slightly disappointing. It's not like as vertical as the other Ninjago city sets are, so as a result, it's going to be more landscape, and there's going to be more space throughout the actual model itself if you just leave it like this. If you populate the scene with minifigures, you're totally fine. I also really enjoy this bridge build down here. Very cool looking bridge. I like this one quite a bit. I think this bridge looks pretty fantastic. You can fit figures all throughout there if you want. The construction on this bridge is pretty interesting, I'd say. Can't really say I've seen some of these pieces used in these specific ways before. So awesome bridge, very cool. We also have a couple of other random vendors here. We have a little dragon fruit stand thing. That is a sticker used there. By the way, a lot of stickers used on this set, and I really messed up the placement of that sticker. Sorry, not sorry. We also have a couple of other vendor things down there. Little fruit boat just kind of floats on the water. But overall, like I said, a lot of stickers used here, a lot of interesting details that we will be talking about even more once we break it down floor by floor, which we will do here momentarily. But first, I want to talk about the main couple of action features that you have here, because yes, there are indeed some action figures. The first one kind of sucks. It's a little wheelchair ramp here for Cyrus Borg. Now, you're supposed to be spinning this thing. Unfortunately, the gears are all messed up in mine, so it doesn't really work half the time. There, it worked, but trying to get it back down is another story. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's just stuck like that now. Yeah, pretty sure that's just stuck like that. Sometimes the pieces come apart in there. By the way, you can see some of my other shelves over there with some of my other sets. Like I said, this is a pretty big set. So, but bottom line, that gear function doesn't really work half the time, and it disconnects easily on my copies. So that's kind of disappointing, but you can see how that's supposed to work. Now, the wheelchair ramp here, Stuck again. There we go. Now the wheelchair ramp here is supposed to be leading up to this thing, which is a nice little cable car, which we will talk about here momentarily. You also have steps to go along this side too. Cat hair is not included as per usual, so I like how that looks. Wheelchair ramp, steps, all that makes sense. But the cable car, as you can see, we have this long black thing that goes all the way down into that little abyss down there. Now, this has another action feature attached to it. In fact, a couple of action features. First, you want to come back here. There's a gear right there, as you can see. You're supposed to flip that, and that thing opens. The little walkway thing opens there. So there you go. You can kind of see how that looks. Walkway opens, and there's a gear all the way back here on this back side of this building. By the way, awesome cherry tree. Love that a lot. But the gear is connected to the cable car. Cable car is connected to a string. And once you turn the gear, the entire cable car just goes all the way down throughout the city. That is very, very cool. The cable car is built up rather nicely. It also does open from this side as well as on the top. So you can fit maybe a couple of figures in there if you try hard enough. You can also see some interesting detail on this side too. Stickers used right there and right back there, if you can see that. But you close up the cable car, and like I said, if you continue to use the gear function, you can take it all the way down. You can also retract it back up too. That's just built up using a hook and a string. The string is connected all the way up to there. You can kind of see how that looks there. A little bit blurry, but there you go. You can kind of see what's going on there. So yeah, there's the neat little cable car function. You can bring that all the way down and drop off people right down in there. So I think that's very cool. And like I said, you can retract it all the way back up if you want. The back of the model doesn't look too bad, but of course this is just the back of the model. It's not supposed to be the camera-friendly side. You can also get a better look at the walkway here. Very nice rails there, a couple of plants. We also have this arch thing in the center there. Not too bad, just to add some detail. We also do have some stickers used on the back too, so I guess there is some detail worth talking about. We also have some steps here going up to the top floor and more railing. Again, very, very cool. Bottom floor, again, looks pretty barren. You might be wondering what that hole is right there. Well, if you know anything about this set, there is a specific action feature used on this set that involves this hole and a building, this building to be exact, which is a bathroom. And yeah, not even joking, that is a bathroom right down in there. Not sure if you can see, there's a toilet in there. There's some toilet paper, a sink, all that good stuff. We will talk about that there once we talk about this main building right here. But the main action feature involves Lego's first flushable toilet, which yes, is a thing. There's a button right there, a little lever right there, and there's a little bit of something going on in the toilet. I hate this so much. Let me sit back down here really quick. And when you flush that toilet, it's going to go all the way down throughout the city and pop out right there into the water. I hate this action feature so much. Let's show you how that works. So you flush the toilet, and you'll see this set work its magic. And there you go. How awesome. No, how horrible. That's actually disgusting. And you get multiple of these pieces too, and I just hate touching that part. Nasty. But yeah, that is definitely something that you can do with this set. You can flush whatever you want down the toilet as long as it's like stud sized, so all the 10-year-olds can have fun with that. I don't get why they included that in this set, to be honest. It's a cool feature, sure, you know. It's cool Lego engineering, but is it really necessary? Set kind of loses me there, if I'm being honest. But like I said, we will talk about that Lego toilet a little bit more once we talk more about this building in general. But is that on the right way? Do I care? But overall, yeah, out into the open abyss, into the water. So starting things off with the ground floor, here we have the entire thing kind of disassembled as much as it can be, you know, aside from like the obvious stuff like the bridge, which really obviously like doesn't need to be disassembled from the main model. But as you can see, we do have some of the rooms here that come out really well as their own little thing. We also have a couple of bridge walkway things here that used to connect back there. Not every single shop disconnects super smoothly though. For example, we have this building right here, which is kind of like pieced together with some Technic beams, so that one won't come out as easily as it probably should. Same deal with some of these other smaller assemblies as well. So we will start by taking a look at some of these larger assemblies that don't disconnect, and then we'll start talking about some of these smaller builds. And like I said, we will start on the ground floor, just work our way up from there until we get to the very top. So I guess we will start over on this building right here, which right off the bat on the second floor, you can kind of take this whole assembly out right here. That'll pretty much detach the entire floor. And as you can see, that's someone's bedroom. Nice picture of Nia, I think, on the wall there. At least I think that's Nia. Very interesting bed as well. Not sure what that says in Ninjago. W-E something? Or is that an N-E? I don't know. I can't really remember. But I'm sure that says something. Feel free to tell me down below in the comments. But with that room removed, we can see up inside there. And that's actually the second floor. It's meant to be the top floor of the bakery or the kitchen, whatever you want to call it. And putting that back in, as you can see, you just walk up the stairs there. And now you are in the bedroom. Nice fish picture on the wall too. I also like how those windows are constructed. Very well done. But with that being said, let's take a look at the kitchen bakery area thing. It's kind of hard to see in there, but you can kind of see what's going on. There's also a door down here that you can kind of just like peer into. It's pretty awkward and it's kind of hard to get the entire thing in focus, but there is a furnace there, a couple flowers there on the side. We also have some nice sticker detailing out here on this side featuring Master Wu on some type of dragon, it seems. And you can open up, if I can fit my fingers in there, you can open up this little window thing down here if you want. That'll give you a nice close-up view in there. I'm right next to the microphone too, so sorry if it's a little bit loud. But yeah, that bakery thing is okay. It's just a nice, neat little assembly. It's kind of hard to get to, unfortunately, and I can't find a way to actually remove this entire building without, like, you know, ruining the entire building. So I guess this is the best that we can do, but you just slide that piece back up in there, and now you have the fully finalized little bakery with the apartment on top, whatever you want to call this thing. Over here, we do have the bottom of the blacksmith shop, and rotating that around really quick, this actually has a lot of room inside, which I really do enjoy. You also have a photo of Hound Dog McBrog there on the wall, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is the blacksmith shop, a little cooling bucket right there, a couple of pokers right there. You also have a nice clock right here, which does chime a little bit if you want to do that. That is a sticker there. Pretty much every detail that you see is a sticker, unfortunately, but you know, it's whatever. I imagine, you know, there's not really any other way of doing that. Also, we do have this whole roof assembly. You can see how the different buildings connect, just with flat pieces and tiles. Makes the whole thing connect rather snugly, but also allows you to take it apart relatively smoothly. Going down a little bit further, as you can see, we do have, again, that dragon fruit stand, but also we have this little assembly right here with some posters in there. I think those are supposed to be movie posters. We have one on either side, but you do have two of them, and they sit in there rather nicely. Heading on over to this side of the bottom floor, you can kind of see, you know, where these buildings attach. You also do have the monorail, or not the monorail, the cable car. This is where the cable car drops off the people. And let's flip around to the other side, just so you can get a better look at what that looks like. That's where the cable car will drop you off, and you're supposed to like walk down here, walk down these little steps, and you are greeted with a nice little tea table there. Little teacup there, or maybe a pot and whatever that is. Very cool, very cool. And then you can go about your day throughout the city, obviously enough. We also have that sticker right there. Not sure what that says. Again, I can't really translate Ninjago. That sticker is cool, though. I think that's supposed to be the Temple of Celebrations, the very, very rare Ninjago set that not a lot of people have nor know about. You should look into that. It's a pretty cool set. These red pillars are pretty nice. You also have some plant detail. Very nice detail for the plants as well. Love how all the plants look. This market set is very much a populated space with minifigures and greenery alike. But you do have some plants there. Nice little water flowing out of the tube there into the water. You also have a little frog right there. So cute is frog. But overall, yeah, also a nice little roof section here with tiles and whatever. So yeah, overall, that's the bottom floor of the markets. Not like the best thing ever, obviously. The other floors are much more exciting, but still very solid. I just wish some of these other buildings could come apart a little easier, and maybe I'm doing something wrong, who's to say. You also do have some nice architecture outside on the front too. Again, more plants, love that. Love this little hanging, whatever that is, little hanging hot dog bun piece. That is a hot dog bun there. But overall, yeah, pretty solid ground floor. Let's take a look at some of the other buildings that you can find on the ground floor. So really quick, we do have these two assemblies which kind of just support the walkway. Very, very cool though in terms of like the lights that we have underneath. I think those are rather nice looking. You can also adjust those if you want. Nothing really too major. You do get two of them. They are different from each other. So, and again, those just support the walkway to the second story. The first actual building that I want to take a look at is this assembly right here, which sits above the blacksmith shop. We also have a sign for the blacksmith shop right there, along with some tools showcasing that it is indeed a blacksmith shop. Nice little balcony there as well. You can fit a figure in there probably. You can open the door too to get inside the actual apartment. And like the other building, also on the ground floor, you can just straight up remove one of the walls. That comes out. Really cool assembly there. Love the windows. But you can see in there we have someone's bedroom. There's also a trap door here to get to the bottom floor, apparently. But very, very cool little bedroom right there. Little desk area, some toys, some roller skates there on that shelf. Also a Ninjago card right there. That gold piece right there. Not sure how well you can see that, but that is supposed to be, I believe, either the original Kai or Kai DX from the original Ninjago spinners. So that's pretty cool. Also opening window, very nice. And yeah, just a neat little bedroom area above the blacksmith shop. Not too shabby. You can put the wall back on if you want. I wish some of these walls would actually connect, but I get it. Easy access, all that good stuff. I just realized my other light was turned off during that whole segment, so yay. Like I said, not a professional LEGO reviewer, but I have turned on my other light. Here's another building that you find on the ground level of the markets, and this does come apart as well. Two little sections here. What just fell out was where is it? One of those little Ninjago character cards. Another one. This is supposed to be the original Zane. It just kind of sits in the mailbox there, and I wish it actually plugged in because the amount of times that thing has fallen out on me, it's ridiculous. But here's the ground floor. We also have two doors here, one on either side, one right there, one right there. Also missing goat. Where's the goat? I don't know. Who cares? But like some of the other buildings in this set, you can just take out one of the walls, so that comes out. That'll give us a nice look at this shop, which not sure what type of shop this is supposed to be. Could be like ingredients for something, but this is pretty cool right here. Little Cole, little Cole microfigure. I'm not losing my mind. What are you talking about? You do get two of these in the set. You also do get a J one, so I guess that's what I was thinking of. But that's the Cole microfigure. Like I said, you do get two each per set. But yeah, very, very cool little shop right there. You can close up the little wall there, and there you go. You have a nice little whatever you want to call this downstairs shop. That stupid card fell out again. Like I said, wish that plugged in. It doesn't plug in. On top, you do have this little thing though. Nice little sign right there, 24/7. Not sure what that says. Again, I don't speak Ninjargon. Couple of roof tiles here that you can flip up. Maybe you want to hide something in there. Totally up to you. But this right here is supposed to be Aaron and Sora's room. It's kind of tight. You can kind of open up the door there. You can kind of see what we got going on. There are two beds in there. One for Sora, which just kind of sits on top. In fact, let's just remove that so you can kind of see what her bed looks like. This is Sora's bed. Yeah, very cool sticker right there. Again, sticker used there. It just has her little cat symbol on there. Yeah, not too shabby. And in terms of Aaron's bed, that one's also in there, as you can see. Has his symbol on it as well. And these are supposed to be bunk beds, but Sora's bed just kind of sits on top, doesn't really plug in, so it can get misaligned pretty easily. I really don't like how some of this stuff is constructed on this set. It's kind of finicky in some places, but, you know, you can just shut that up and bring back in this thing and try to... That letter, the card fell out again. Get in there and stay in there. Like I said, it is kind of finicky. As you can see, it does fall apart pretty easily. But you can still try your best and, you know, do whatever you want with it. And there you go. Now you have this shop all constructed again. I hate this thing. with a passion. Here we have the second floor without any other buildings on it except for the bottom half of the Borg Tower, or sorry, the Borg store, which doesn't really come apart at all, so that'll just have to be there. But as you can see, this whole section is just one giant assembly. A lot of cool signs here too, various signs for various things. Again, pause and check those out if you want. You can adjust these things, not sure why you would, unless you want someone to fall off the top of the walkway there. More of these lanterns as well used throughout the build. You'll see a bunch of those as well. But overall, more stickers, nice little walkway there, nice little bridge, again, overhanging some important placements where some buildings would go. It all makes more sense when you connect all the buildings. You saw that earlier in the video. It all looks good when it's all together. By itself here, this assembly doesn't look all that great, but it's not really supposed to. Again, the walkway right here, you can see where that goes. Beautiful arch as well. We talked about that briefly earlier, but very cool design here for this nice little temple-inspired arch. Very, very cool. And here we have the Borg store. I keep on wanting to call it Borg Tower. It's not Borg Tower, it's the Borg store. You also have this little adjustable thing there. It's like a map of the city, maybe? Don't know. Don't really care either, to be honest. But like I said, Borg store. Let's take a look at this thing. So the Borg store here comes in a couple of different sections. This section right here, the bottom section, which needs to stay connected to this floor right here. The top half of the Borg store does come off into its own separate little assembly. We will take a look at that here in a second. Talking about the ground floor, or not the ground floor, but the second floor level though, like some of the other buildings, you can pop out a wall just to see a little bit more inside. And I understand why they keep on doing that. It's compensation for the buildings not coming off and becoming their own thing. But that's why I feel like other sets like the Ninjago City or the Ninjago City Gardens, they did this concept a lot better because you can actually take off the buildings. This one, you can only take off some of the buildings, and for those that are just stuck there, you get removable walls. That's cool and all, but I don't know, it just feels a lot better to take the entire building apart, you know? Like take it off section by section. But I'm kind of rambling. You guys already understand how I feel about that. Yeah, inside of the Borg store, very cool. The door can open, so that's definitely, you know, functional right there. A couple of phones back there on the stand for sale. A couple of other things for sale as well. Like I said, though, you can go ahead and reattach the wall if you want. I like it a lot, the store itself. I think the front of the store as well has a beautiful storefront. Like, that just looks incredible. I love the green and the teal coloring going on there. Nice Borg logo on the door as well. That's what it looks like from the front being open, so I think that's pretty cool. Stairs leading up to it, always fun to see. And yeah, overall the Borg store, not too bad. I feel like they tried really hard to make this Borg Tower though, you know, without actually making Borg Tower. We saw that as well in the Ninjago City Garden set, but this one, it feels more like it's an attempt to make Borg Tower, right? Because it's a Borg themed store. Maybe one day we will get a Borg Tower set. Fingers crossed for that. The Borg Tower vibes continue with the top half of the Borg store, which is essentially just Cyrus Borg's little HQ. Again, very, very Borg Tower-esque. This very much looks like some type of Borg Tower. I know it's not supposed to be, but come on, this is very much Borg Tower inspired, that's for sure. Very cool design back here. Not sure what all this is supposed to be, but you can get Borg in there. Like the other buildings, this does have an opening wall because you can't take off the roof, which stupid in my opinion. But you can see in there, there's a nice little computer in there. The door does open for Borg to enter his own little workshop there. But like I said, computer in there, along with a keyboard, some other stuff in there. It kind of looks a little bit better from the front. Again, that's just supposed to be Borg's little workshop, his little desk. My piece right here has a lot of scuffing on it. Not a huge fan of that, but overall pretty solid in terms of what they're trying to do here. Borg does fit in there rather nicely. I don't have that figure on standby at the moment, but overall, yeah, pretty solid little Borg Tower, or sorry, not Borg Tower here. Like I said, fingers crossed we get a Borg Tower set in the future, but for right now, this looks fine. I also love the colors here. Also, the shaping of the roof looks pretty good too. Love those rounded angles there, or just the rounded edges more or less. Little adjustable satellite thing up here too. That's cool. Also an antenna. Makes it look like an electronics store, which it's definitely trying to be. Overall, this is probably one of my favorite buildings in the set. Definitely not my favorite building though. But overall, like I said, this one is still pretty good. Definitely a nice, neat little Borg store area. My favorite area of the entire set, though, is probably this right here, which is supposed to be Dareth's bar. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Dareth, but I do really like this this bar. I think this looks fantastic overall. We'll take a look inside here in a second, but first on the outside, very awesome color scheme. Blues and purples. It looks really modern and just really cool. Also, like I said, we do have some signs out here. One for Jacob, the Master of Sound, and possibly one for the bar. Again, can't really read Ninjago. Tell me what that says down below. Very cool plant detailing though as well. Flipping around to the other side, we have another sticker right back here. We looked at this one earlier, but this is just another sticker showcasing the mech race. Now right here, so you can see we have one of those little J microfigures. Now right here you might notice a sticker right there. I put that on the wrong side. It's supposed to be on the other side. I put it on the outside because I'm kind of an idiot, but we'll take a look at that here momentarily, where it's supposed to be and what the inside looks like. Like I said earlier, you also have some stairs going up to the top floor. Those look really nice railing as well. And you can kind of see what we got going on in there. I really like the colors on this thing though. Such a cool look. Here's the front entrance. You just open up the door and come on in and join the party. I like how this looks a lot, actually. Very, very cool. Very, very awesome assembly right here. Let's take a look inside the thing, though. So inside, as you can see, we have a lot of different stuff going on here. First of all, that pool table, that is a really cool build right there. Love how that looks. You can see the little studs that are supposed to be representing the balls, I guess. They also fall out really easily because they're not like connected to anything, so you can drop those all over your floor like an animal. But overall, very, very cool. Like how that looks. Couple of pool cues back there as well attached to the wall. Dartboard back there is also a sticker. We also have a shelf right there with some glasses and a little party hat. Little register too, I imagine. Right back in here, that is supposed to be a karaoke stand thing. Not really focusing the best back there, but that sticker on the outside, that's where that's supposed to be, right back there on that wall. I put it on the wrong way, like I said. I'm not too bent out of shape about it. You also have a jukebox of sorts over here on this wall. Very, very cool assembly. Overall, I love the way that this little bar looks there. Very, very cool. Love how that looks a lot, actually. You can't really open any walls to get into the building, though. I mean, you can, like, pop these windows out if you really want to, but that'll take apart some of the assembly with it, so not really supposed to do that. But overall, very, very cool building. Probably my favorite building in the entire set. I just like this bar a lot, actually. And also, you do have this little section right there. That's for the toilet attachment. All of the contents of the toilet will run through this part of the building. So, there you go. But Dareth would probably like that, right? You know? I don't know. Overall, very cool. I like Dareth's bar quite a bit. Dareth as a character, not so much, but his bar, I really enjoy. There's also a photo on the wall back there with him and someone else. Who is that? Who cares? Dareth's bar. Here we have the cable car floor. Yeah, let's just take a look at this really quick. Signs right here, signs right there. They're also falling off. Don't know why. Sticker right back there too. Not sure how well you can see that. Probably not at all. Now this thing is pretty awkward to spin around because of this long thing, which is the cable car bar. But overall, yeah, pretty solid floor, I'd say. Again, more signs right here, more signs right here. There's the gear function for the wheelchair elevator thing. The gear function in the back here does still work as well, so that's interesting to note. Let's pan upwards a little bit here so we can take a look at some of the taller details. Little plants right there, very cool. The cable car is probably not supposed to be this low to the ground. It's kind of askew, but it is what it is at the end of the day. It do be what it do be. We can also put these things down in there too. And here we have the roof, just taking you guys off the tripod again. You can adjust these things too. Not sure why you would do that, but that cherry tree is beautiful. I love how that looks. Very, very excellent cherry tree right there. Very cool design. Love how that looks quite a bit. These branches you can adjust to if you see fit, whatever you want to do. On the back side of this roof, you have some more detail. That's the gear function for the cable car. Again, cat hair not included. What the heck? But I'm not really sure what this thing is supposed to be. This thing comes apart way too easily. It just kind of pops off. What is this supposed to be? Did I build something wrong here? I can't tell. But you can plug it back in right down there, and this thing can move up. So is this supposed to be like some type of like platform for whoever's controlling the gear function? I suppose you can, with this little thing here, I suppose you can bring this up and maybe lock it into place like that. So I guess that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I guess you're supposed to just treat this as some type of like platform to work the cable car. But this platform, the connection is just awful. It just doesn't plug in down there at all. Again, maybe I did something wrong, but if this is how it's supposed to be, gotta say that's pretty disappointing, all things considered, man. Yeah, this section, I like the cable car action feature, but I think this section here definitely takes some liberties to make that action function possible. So yeah, there's my quick thoughts on this assembly. Definitely not my favorite thing out there. And finally, here we have the top floor featuring the sushimi bar and the bathroom, the dreaded yellow bathroom back there, the disgusting yellow bathroom. First of all, very nice roof assembly. I like how this looks quite a bit. This is all just one big chunk. You can also adjust these little, whatever you want to call these. If you want to give the roof a different shape, you can do that. Very nice blue railing all the way around too. That looks really nice. Just kind of rotating this thing around really quick. You can see some of the different angles on this thing. Very, very cool. You also have this thing. Not sure what this is supposed to be. Is that supposed to be the shark army from the Ninjago movie? I can't tell. But that's a sticker regardless. That just attaches right here. You can angle that any which way you want. Like I said, poster right back there. That is supposed to be, who is that? Fritz Donegan. What's his actual name? Cliff Gordon? Couldn't remember his name for a second. But you can take this and flip it up if you want to reveal the inner workings of the toilet function. So if you get a toilet jam, you can fix that if you want. It's a very simplistic attachment, you know, it's a very simplistic method of working the toilet, but you can just hide it like that. So I guess that's better than nothing. You also have a sign on the other side featuring Jay's Titan mech, possibly in some type of movie. That's pretty cool. Sign on the toilet door. We'll take a look at the bathroom here in a second. You also have this big thing on the roof. This big, huge green thing. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I'm not sure what that says, but I really enjoy the little squid over here on this roof. That looks amazing. Love how that looks. Nice, neat little build there. He's got like a pan with something in it. I like how this guy looks quite a bit. You can pop him off if you want to get a better look at him. I think he's really cool. He has little chopsticks there as well. You can kind of see me in the reflection of his dome. Hello. Hi, how are ya? But overall, very cool little squid build. He just attaches right back up there. You can move his arms if you want to. Very nice. Like I said, that huge sign kind of overlays the entire section here. You also have a tower right here for the roof. Again, adjustable satellite. If you want to move that, you can do that as well. DR, what does that stand for? Dragons Rising? Probably not. But yeah, overall, pretty cool on the roof. Let's take a look at some of those other buildings. Let's start with the sushimi shop over here. Thankfully, the sushimi shop comes out on its own, so you can look at it like this. Not really sure how you're supposed to access the thing. There's no like walls that come attached. The roof can't come undone. So I guess the best thing that you can do is open the door and prop open that window right there so you can kind of see inside. Not the most ideal thing out there, but it is what it is. You can probably fit someone in there very, very simplistically like that. So cool. You can see the menu right there. A couple of things there. I personally prefer, ooh, what looks good? What looks good? I'm not really like a seafood guy, but is that shrimp? The number 9? Oh wait, that's also the number 9. That's also, wait, what? Why are there 3 number 9s? Maybe I'm missing something. But you also do have some lights that you can readjust if you want. Pretty simplistic. Nice window in the back there. Lets in some light, some much needed light. That is the sushimi shop. And overall, it is pretty solid, I'd say. Not like a huge sushi guy. Not really a huge seafood guy. But shrimp is good. I'll take whatever the shrimp is. Is it the number 9 or the number 9 or the number 9? Who's really to say? That is the sushimi shop. The bathroom is stuck. You can't remove it from the actual assembly here, but you can pop off the roof like we discussed earlier. We also have some type of AC unit thing up there next to the big antenna. Cool. Got to keep your patrons cozy in the bathroom, right? But yeah, just taking a look in there. Like we discussed earlier, there's a toilet, some toilet paper, the flusher, the sink. Wonderful. The toilet function does work, so that's great. So stupid. I hate that toilet function. If you like it, that's totally fine and dandy. I think it's kind of disgusting and unnecessary. It also gets disconnected way too easily and gets jammed a lot. I have had toilet jams. In fact, somewhere in this model, I have lost two of the little what's the proper terminology? The Lego fecal matter. Sure. I mean, that's basically what it is, right? I lost two of those pieces somewhere in the city. Don't know where they are. Cool. I mean, yeah, like I said, cool for the technology, but is it really necessary? Probably not. That's where the sushi shop was, so bringing that back, you can just reattach that right back in there. Some of these blue railings do get detached rather easily. I've had this one back here fall off multiple times. Not sure how well you can see that because the camera wasn't focused. But yeah, overall, that is the top floor, the final little floor that we have to look at here. Not too bad, not too bad. If it wasn't for the bathroom, I'd say this was probably my favorite floor. But as it stands, I really enjoy the Borg Tower and Dareth's little bar thing. Let's take all the pieces and put them back together. And putting it back together, as you can see, here we have the completed Ninjago City Markets all together once again. Overall, very cool set. There's a lot of stuff that you can adjust here as well once you have the city fully placed back together again. But overall, in terms of like Ninjago City sets, this is probably not my favorite Ninjago City set. I still think the Ninjago City Gardens is probably better, dare I say, just because it feels more complete and it feels more full. Like I said, though, that set is more vertical. This is more horizontal, so you're going to get a lot of barren space like this. But overall, the Ninjago City Gardens, I still think means a lot more to me as a Ninjago fan. It represented a lot more as well. But this set is definitely not too shabby. Overall, would totally recommend this set. It's a very cool set, very cool build. A lot of action features, both questionable and not. But overall, I still find myself really enjoying this set. I think this makes for an awesome display piece, and like I said, I would totally recommend this set. If you guys have the money and the space to grab it, I'd say go for it. I'll probably say that again before this review wraps up. There's just a lot of feelings that I have towards this set, and a lot of those feelings, some of them are good, most of them are good actually, but some of them are bad. Yeah, this set does have some weaknesses in my opinion that's holding it back from pure perfection, but overall this set is certainly not a bad set. Had a lot of fun building it. There's a lot of really cool details. I love a lot of the street level details as well, with the water and the plants, etc. All of that stuff is absolutely amazing. Also, the walkways are built rather nicely. Again, some adjustable stuff there, but yeah, overall, can't complain too much about this set. I think this is a pretty cool Ninjago City set, and I'm happy that I have it. So why don't we go ahead and wrap up this review. And really quick, here we have the spare parts, the instruction booklets. You do get 3 of them, and the 3 spent sticker sheets. So there's all that. Oh, and also the brick separator is there too. Like I said, 3 instruction booklets, not too bad. I'll probably add those to the collection as well. A lot of stickers used on this guy though, which does get kind of annoying, but that is to be expected. Overall, what are my thoughts on the Ninjago City Market set? Let's wrap up this review. Let's give my final thoughts on the set. My final thoughts are, this set is definitely not the best Ninjago City set out there, but it still is pretty solid. There are a lot of things about this set that I do not like, such as the barren open streets. Again, with minifigures, it'll probably look better, but I also don't really like how finicky everything is. It doesn't come apart as easily as some of the other Ninjago City sets, especially the Gardens. This thing is kind of prone to falling apart and not really working half the time in terms of the functions that it does have. Why even bother putting the functions in there at all? It's not a play set. This is more of a display set in my opinion. I do like the cable car. That function works well and is pretty sweet. But the toilet, it's just gross. I don't really like that at all. I also don't really care for the wheelchair elevator thing. That just breaks on me all the time. And like I said, disconnecting the entire thing to either put figures in it or talk about it on camera, it's kind of a chore, and I wasn't really expecting that from this set, especially given its price tag. But don't get me wrong, this set still is pretty solid. It still is pretty cool. I do not regret buying this set. I would still recommend this set because overall, it's an awesome set. It's a nice little display. It's a nice expansion expansion for the Ninjago city sets if you already have them, and even if you don't already have them. I think this is still a nice little Ninjago set to get. Well, not little, because this thing is like massive. It's the biggest set of all time, but you know, you get what I'm talking about, right? You understand what I'm saying? I think it's a good set. Would totally recommend it to any and all Ninjago fans out there. Just keep in mind some of the stuff in this set is kind of finicky, but maybe that's just me and my own incompetence, who's really to say. Also, great minifigures in this set too. Awesome selection of figures. Really cool in terms of collectible value as well. So it's hard as a Ninjago collector to not recommend this set, and I would still recommend it. It's just not 100% perfect. It's not as perfect as I would like it to be, but still solid A-, I'd say. So with that being said, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below discussing what you think about this set and the other Ninjago city sets, and hopefully you guys enjoyed today's upload. Sorry that it was kind of long. In fact, I'm not really sure how long this video will be when it's all said and done, but if you made it to the end of the video, I don't know, type waffle forever in the comments, just so I can see who made it to the end. But overall, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's video, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I thank you so much for watching this one, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.